As ever, thank you so much for listening to the podcast and for downloading this episode. And as we speak, the tents are going up, the paddock is beginning to fill, and suddenly, after a whole year of preparation, Manx Grand Prix 2026 is almost here. And you know, there really is something about these last few days before the first bikes head away down Bray Hill, that mixture of excitement, anticipation, and for our guest today, admittedly, quite a few nerves as well. So in this episode of Startline, I'm at the Grandstand with Manx Motorcycle Club Chair John McBride and the Secretary and Treasurer Ned Bowers. So this is all about MGP 2026, everything from the newcomers arriving from around the world, the riders to watch out for, the final coveted place in the Tommy Club, and the extraordinary commitment it takes just to get to the grid, and of course the army of volunteers who make the whole thing possible. We'll also find out what the final few days are really like for the people behind the event, and as Ned puts it, once it begins it almost feels like a year in a week. So the waiting is nearly over. This is Startline, and this is our preview of the 2026 Manx Grand Prix.
Hello, I'm John McBride. I'm chairman of the Manx Motorcycle Club.
And I'm Ned Bowers. I'm Treasurer and Secretary of the Manx Motorcycle Club.
And we're in your headquarters here, John, at the TT Grandstand, and it's all gearing up again now. I mean, we're just a few days away from the start of MGP 2026 as this is going out. And it's amazing, isn't it? I don't know how you feel when you walk through the paddock area, see the tents going up and whatever. A little bit of anticipation.
Anticipation and nervous, almost as nervous as I was when I was riding, actually. But it's become real suddenly, very suddenly, and it seems to come around very quickly.
Really does. Would you just be able to give us a sense of what the run-up is like for you and Ned at this point in time?
Well, I think it's more loose ends because a lot of the planning has been done during the year, hasn't it, Ned, really?
There's still an awful lot of things to do and things that you've forgotten to do that you've got to concentrate on now. And this is where the real pressure's coming on.
How many to-do lists are there in your house at the moment?
Well, I've got one to-do list, but it's several pages of A4.
I've got my to-do list here, but I've written this on the back of it, so so I don't know where I am really, but yeah, I'll get there in the end. But I think it's more poor Liz Warden who's feeling it because she's the central focus for everything, so she's going to have to pick up a lot of the bits and pieces and front people. So. Yeah.
And one of the main things, and we've spoken to quite a few of the newcomers, let's talk about the newcomers first of all, and so many nations represented this time, John.
Yeah, well, there's 15 nations altogether, including the home nations, which is very good, and a big interest from America. You know, that's growing really, really, really well. And the European interest, a lot of people coming from the International Road Race Championships. In fact, we've got Laurent Hoffman, who's a two-time winner of the International Road Race Championships, and he's a newcomer this year, and he should go very well. He has had a go. He crashed during practice, so he never actually started the TT. So he qualifies for the Manx Grand Prix. So we're looking forward to seeing how he goes. And several other people. Wally Jacobs, Dutch rider, he looks like he's very good. And Thomas Attendorfer and Aaron West from the US, and a local newcomer who we hope will go well is Iliam Quayle. So, yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, very familiar name to anybody who's followed motorsport here on the Isle of Man. And Ned, the support of newcomers is something that the Manx Grand Prix Club takes so seriously.
Well, we do. It starts from 1 year and goes on to the next. People apply to ride in the Manx Grand Prix. We get a lot of interest in it, but that narrows down to a mere 25 to 30 riders who are considered for the Manx Grand Prix. As John said, a lot of these are foreign riders this year. There's making up perhaps from a fall in the number of Irish road racers coming into the sport. John's mentioned Laurent Hoffman is a big star in the road racing scene in Europe. He won at Haritza at the weekend, and second place was Marcus Carlson, who's also a newcomer this year. And as John mentioned, Aaron West is quite an interesting character. He was a professional ice hockey player, and he was told that he couldn't be an ice hockey player and rode motorbikes, so he gave up ice hockey. And here he is coming with a very professional team to the island.
And something about Aaron is that he is really keen on the promoting the social media side of things. And, we can expect a load of videos from that. And that's great as well for the reputation of the Manx Grand Prix.
Yes. Videos are quite a lot. It's on our social media. And I think Aaron is just one example. We expect him to sort of be providing us with some onboards, and we will be providing him with some of the film that we'll be taking. Our preparations for live stream are very well advanced at the moment, and we hope to have more cameras out this year. And we'll have Nick Jeffries as our main commentator on race days. And as people will know, he's a TT winner, a very famous name in himself.
And how do people access that then, Ned?
They'll go to it'll be on Facebook and YouTube, but probably the easiest way is simply to go onto the Manx Grand Prix website, and there'll be a link. You just click on that and you're straight into the live stream.
The thing is, John, MGP 2025, the weather was absolutely glorious, wasn't it? I think that's the standout thing. And I haven't even looked at the forecast. I don't know if you are glued to the weather apps at the moment.
Well, I try not to look because it doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. I can't change the weather. I can just hope for the same weather that we had last year. It was absolutely brilliant and a fantastic event last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And very close racing. That's the other thing we're looking forward to, too.
Yeah.
So then it's making sure that you've got enough contingency planned in if things don't go, quite as you want them to.
Yeah, well, there is contingency planned in, and hopefully we won't need it. But I think Gary Thompson's getting very, very good at working these things now. So what we don't want any one-lap races or anything like that. It's got to be a full program of events, and hopefully for the Classic TT too, because they suffered badly last year. It's almost like somebody threw a switch after the Manx Grand Prix finished, which I felt pretty sorry for them. Really, it was unfortunate.
It is. It's just one of those, isn't it? Like you say, absolutely no control over that whatsoever. In terms then, Ned, of the riders to watch this year, we know, unfortunately, the likes of Grant Thompson is not going to be riding, which is a huge blow for him. But also, so many people wanted to see him out there. Who are the ones to watch, would you say?
Well, I'd say so. If you're looking to the junior or the sport bike class, you're looking to, I think Harley Rushton is going to be a good runner this year. He won the 350 classic race just 2 years ago as a newcomer. He put up the fastest lap in the Super Twins race last year. I think he'll be going very well. Owen Moynihan has been getting consistently quicker in the number of years that he's been coming here. Liam Chalk, the same. But the best newcomer we had last year was Eddie Wormold, who was a bit of a surprise. And I think if he gets the bikes, then I think he'll be up there at the front as well. Chris Cook, who was the unfortunate. We all
remember that one, don't we? Oh.
Yeah, yes, he was leading at the bungalow on the last lap, and he lost it by half a second coming across the line. And you could see how devastated he was by not winning that race. He thought he had it in the bag, but he didn't.
Do you know, the thing I really remember about that is that obviously he was hugely disappointed, took a moment to pull himself together, but he was so magnanimous when we spoke to him afterwards. I mean, a second place is still a phenomenal achievement, but just what goes into getting people here at all. And we've been hearing a lot of stories recently about, the financial side of it for anybody coming to race over here. It's just huge.
Yes, it is. It costs a fortune to come here, to get getting the bikes prepared. It costs an awful lot of money and commitment as well, not just financially, but with families and friends to come here. I think one of those who comes to mind of that is Andy Farrell, who I was talking to a few years ago. Andy's been coming here since 2009, and he told me that he went back home to Dublin after the Manx Grand Prix a few years ago, and his wife said to him, "Why is it that we have to drive around in shit €200 cars?"
Yes. Well, that's it, isn't it? And you will both know when you with your sort of racing heads on, is that this sport is all about sacrifice, isn't it? Something has to give.
Yeah. Something does, and you try to keep the personal relationships together because, in a sense, it is a selfish sport. You're putting so much into it, but when it all goes well, everybody enjoys the experience.
I'd agree with that. I mean, I wonder how many houses I would have now if if I'd never raced. But
no regrets, though.
Yes, no, not at all, not at all. No, I'd do it all again if I could.
And just also spare a thought for Don Gilbert, who was injured at the Northwest 200. He was going to ride the TT, obviously unable to do so, and instead he put an entry in for the Manx Grand Prix. But it was still very much touch and go whether or not he could get here, and he will be here. I suppose he's going to get a medical when he arrives here, but he wouldn't be coming here if he didn't think he was going to pass it.
Brilliant news, isn't it? And the other thing that we always talk about when it comes to racing on the mountain course is the coveted Tommy Club. Now, just for people who might not be familiar with this Ned Festival, would you just explain what that's all about?
Well, Tommy Klukas is a fantastic Manx rider, a great footballer as well. Unfortunately, he lost his life here in 2004. And just after setting up the first 120-mile-an-hour lap in the Manx Grand Prix, he lost his life at Ballaugh Bridge. In memory of that, the set up by his long-time sponsor was there's the Tommy Club, and for each of the first 36 riders, was Tommy being 36 years old when he died, each of the first 36 riders to do a 120-mile-an-hour lap receives a Tommy Award. 35 of those have been awarded so far, and there's just one more to go, which I'm sure somebody's going to take it this year.
Oh my goodness, that'll be such a special thing. And I mean, I'm just looking at the list here. There are some brilliant names on there.
Yes. If you look down the list of the people who actually won the Tommy Club over the years, we've had Malachi Mitchell-Thomas. Again, we lost him. Billy Redmayne. But then we got Tom Wheaton, Darren Cooper, Mikey Evans, Glenn Harrison, Dean Osborne, Matt Stevenson, Nathan Harrison. The list just goes on. It's a who's who of stars who have moved on to the TT subsequently.
And, you know, like you say, just one more place left. So whoever that is, I mean, this really is going into the history books.
Yes, it will be. They'll all be remembered.
It will be, and it's a big tribute also to Martin, who's
Martin Bullock,
who's put so much into keeping Tommy's memory alive with this, and I think it's a big tribute to him just as much as anything. Yes.
We'll be watching that one with close interest. A few days away from everything starting. I mean, what's happening up here at the moment from your point of view?
We're just tying loose ends up, really. But we're just trying to sort out our what we're going to do with our sponsors, really. And we've got new sponsors this year. Oakles have agreed to sponsor the whole event, and they've come on board, and we're really pleased about that. Then for the classes, we've got Road Racing News, who are sponsoring the sport bike race. Glover Law sponsoring the super sport race. Carol Nash have come on to sponsor the junior, and Oakles again to sponsor the senior. So we've got all these little things we've got to look after. We've got to look after their people, but we've also got our guest of honour, of course, the great Les Trotter, who's coming over, and it's 50 years since he won the senior on his 500 Suzuki Twin. And yes, I'm sure he'll be regaling us with all sorts of stories from those days.
Just to steal the story from him, that 1976 was the year of drought, the big drought of 76, and it was bone dry for the Manx Grand Prix that year until the very last lap, and it started spotting with rain. Les Trotter was riding as number one, so he managed almost to get back to the finish before the rains set in, I think, and Danny Shimon had been leading up to that point. And so Danny lost it because of the weather, and Les won it.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. It'd be brilliant to speak to him when he's over as well. And we talk a lot about sponsorship for the individual racers themselves, the riders, but actually, as an organisation, going out there and having to have those conversations again in what is a really tough climate.
It is a tough climate, and but we got some new committee members, Lee and Carol Bartram, who've been very good at talking to these people and getting them on board, and probably something we've not really been that active with, to be fair, and probably for the same reason as you mentioned there, we probably feel a little bit reticent about approaching people, but Lee isn't for sure. That's
Lee networks.
But no, I mean, and it's quite surprising that they do come forward. And we do have other people, such as people who supply the champagne. Well, it's the Manx champagne from Foraging Vintners, and they've come on there. And of course, Celtic Gold, who've sponsored the Spirit of the Manx Award from the outset. So they've been very good with us for a long, long time now.
Tell us about that award.
It's for sportsmanship and endeavour, really, and it's not necessarily for somebody who won, but it could be somebody who won, but it's somebody who, in the opinion of the Manx Grand Prix Riders Association, who have really put the effort in to come here, and they've overcome all sorts of hurdles to compete, and we don't know exactly who's got it yet. So there's still conversations going on, but that will be awarded at the presentation, and the presentation will be Monday night at the Villa Marina, and everyone is welcome. It's usually a very good night, isn't it?
Nice. Yeah. It's as stressful as anything else during the Manx Grand Prix, yes. Trying to get everything together. Just hours after the race is finished, to get all guns clear up, get down the Villa Marina, get all your presentation materials sorted out, all the trophies out on stage, get some video playing in the background, and get through all the races, and
yes,
and everybody gets their awards, and everybody really enjoys themselves.
Yeah.
Is this where I've seen the infamous photographs of the likes of Carolyn Sells being taken around on a chair?
Oh, yes, the chair's currently up at the Victory Cafe, and so I've got to go up there tomorrow and bring it.
Add it to your list, Ned.
Yes, I've got to bring that down for the mountain.
And as we know, preparation for MGP is a year-round thing, and things are constantly evolving. And one of the things that has had a bit of a revamp in recent weeks is the website, John.
It has, yes. The upgrade is absolutely superb. And I think that people will find something that there's a lot of interest in there. We've got our own data, results data in there now, which are in a really good, easy to read format. And it's the go-to place really for information on the Manx Grand Prix and on the history of the Manx Grand Prix and of the current.
Yes, you could lose yourself for hours in that website. It's full of things.
Yes.
I mean, you talk a little bit about the responsibility to sponsors and looking after them, but during the actual event, what is your role?
Well, my role, with Rory, we do the live streaming. Everybody's a volunteer, as indeed everybody is in the Manx Motorcycle Club is a volunteer. Yes. We've got volunteer camera operators out and around the course. We've got Rory as being our main doing this on a voluntary basis, providing all the camera work and all the technical background to make things work. And it is very technical and it's very stressful, but it all comes together in the end. And I'll be sort of floating around trying to fill in gaps. I'll be out there with camera. I'll be copying film. I'll be editing film. And once it starts, it'll be feeling like a year in a week.
Any sleep scheduled in there, or
even if there is a sleep scheduled, it probably won't be had.
I'll just be sitting here worrying.
Chief worrier.
Chief worrier. That's my position. Yes.
But talking about the history of it, and I think that is, in essence, the beauty of this event, isn't it? It has got its long history, and people are so nostalgic when it comes to it.
Yes, I agree. I mean, that is the big thing, and even new enthusiasts, that come to the Manx Grand Prix, or even people who've never been to the Manx Grand Prix, can get behind it because it's steeped in history, and it's steeped in tradition, and it's steeped in personalities, and I think that's the big thing. There's a lot of stories to tell, and everybody's got a story to tell.
And, there will be people who are hoping to be part of the MGP in the future. Would you be able to give us a sense of how that works? And if anybody's listening and thinking, this is something I'd love to do, what it is you're looking for in a newcomer?
Well, obviously somebody's got to be an active racer, and they've probably got to have a couple of seasons racing behind them at least before they even start thinking about coming to race on the mountain course. It's always been thought that it's a good thing to have other road experience before you come to the Isle of Man. But quite often other people will come straight from the short circuits and be instantly very good round here. I wouldn't say it's completely necessary, but it'd be a good thing to have some roads experience. And
how then does the process for application actually work?
Well, basically, they go onto our website, and there's a competitors section, and they can actually see if they qualify. And there is forms there to get a mountain course license, and that's one of the first things. If you can't qualify for a mountain course license, you can't. But also a newcomers application, and if they get involved early, really, because we start having newcomers weekends in February, so people who are starting to think about next year should be starting very soon, and get onto our website and go from there, or they can give us a call, and we can talk them through it. It's fairly straightforward, but it's a bit daunting if you're doing it for the first time.
Do you remember your application for it?
Yes, well, it was a bit easier, really. Just asked for an application, filled it in, and told a load of lies. Won this, won that. Are you medically fit? Yes. And well, it was a little bit easier, I've got to say. But
it was easier in those days,
yes.
But the competition was nevertheless just as strong. We had big fields in those days.
Big fields. I mean, one year I was number 113, and there was probably about 10 or 11 behind me.
Yeah, it's just how times change, isn't it? And, and I guess from your points of view, it must be the most amazing feeling when you say yes to somebody, but then there are those difficult conversations.
It's very difficult to get in, really. That's the problem. You really have to be proficient. And unfortunately, you can't hide from anything in this world anymore, because everything's online. All your results are online, so we can see exactly what you've done and what you haven't done. We basically make the decision on experience, and your experience and speed. To be fair, you've got to be able to lap reasonably quickly to be able to be considered, really.
Yeah. Obviously, you talked about the volunteers within the Manx Motorcycle Club. The volunteers which are crucial to this event are the marshals, and I know so much work, Ned, is done getting enough marshals around the course.
Well, it's critical, getting enough marshals out, and especially for next Sunday. I believe the numbers are the shorter marshals at the moment, and if there's anybody listening to this and really wants to help the Manx Grand Prix, go out there and marshal. It's the simplest thing you can do.
It's a great experience. It really is. Once you get into it, it's something that you will find hard to stop doing. And I mean, if I hadn't smashed myself to pieces, I'd probably go out there and marshal, but I wouldn't be much use to anybody.
There are so many people who love this sport overall, and there is that real sense sometimes, isn't there, of giving something back?
Yes, after all the years I competed, and I thought, well, it's time for me to give something back, and I think I've probably given a bit of it, but a lot more back than actually I took from it originally. And once you're in it, it's carrying on the being part of the motorcycling family. It's great to race and be part of that family, and it's great to be sort of supporting it in one way or another.
We're just getting programs out at the moment, and they're mainly available through spar shops and Oakles pubs, but there are a few other places carrying them.
The other thing to mention is the merchandise, isn't there? Because that new range that's out this year is just brilliant.
How could we forget that? Yeah. Yes, I mean there will be a shop at the grandstand carrying the merchandise, run by Happy Dog Gary. Happy.
Going back to our website, there's an online shop as well.
Yes.
So have a look at what's on our website.
Going back to the idea of newcomers, any advice? Do you remember what it was like for you?
Yeah, I was terrified. I broke my collarbone a week before. I know. And I delayed starting until the very last minute. I think I had to start practice by Wednesday morning was the very latest, and and I just did the minimum of practice because I was in so much pain and fumbled around. So I do remember I was very, very nervous, and I wasn't really prepared. I wasn't good enough. That's for sure.
Right, so advice one, don't break your collarbone.
Well, I just remember the first time I practiced in 1982. It was a Monday morning, early morning session. It was pouring down with rain, and there was mist from the gooseneck to Signpost Corner. And I think I was second fastest newcomer at the speed of 70 miles an hour. It was so bad.
But that is one of the things. I mean, really, the weather now, they actually did run in big pea supers, weren't they? I mean, couldn't see a thing.
Imagine it, can you?
You couldn't see your hand in front of your face on the mount, and that's no exaggeration. Yeah, but,
right. Shall we just all go outside and do a quick sun dance then?
Yes, keep the weather going.
John McBride and Ned Bowers there, and I think you really can hear just how much this event still means to both of them. A year of planning, countless hours from volunteers, huge commitment from riders, teams, families, sponsors and marshals, and now it all comes down to the next few days. There'll be those newcomers experiencing the mountain course for the very first time, established names chasing that first Manx Grand Prix win, and somewhere out there, perhaps that rider who will claim that final place in the Tommy Club and become part of MGP history. That really is, I think, what the Manx Grand Prix is all about. It's history, tradition, but also giving that next generation their opportunity to become part of the story. So practice gets underway this Sunday. That is the 18th of August. The paddock is ready. The riders are coming. And MGP really is almost here. Thank you so much for listening to Startline, and we'll see you at the grandstand. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Startline, brought to you by the Manx Motorcycle Club. If you would like to be involved in a future episode, you can find me on social media or you can drop me an email. It's beth@startline.im. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.